Hey everybody, it's Carm here, and finally back on. Coming to you on a Wednesday evening. I believe it's Wednesday. Yeah, wanted to come on and share something a little unusual I'd received yesterday. Now, actually, I received this yesterday, and then I received some giftage in the mail today, which I'll do a video for either after this or maybe tomorrow. But this was went by my grandfather's yesterday, and with my folks, and he gave me some tapes, a whole bag of them. He had told me, when I got there, he had a bunch of cassette tapes that he just wasn't using anymore, and he knew that I collected music in general, and wondered if I wanted them, so just gave me the whole bag. And I don't think he watches my videos, but if he sees this or hears of this, thanks Grandpa once again. Really cool, a lot of tapes, a lot of stuff I wasn't familiar with. Some of it isn't even labeled, but it's mostly, or at least half of them, are cassette albums. A lot of Italian music, a lot of easy listening stuff. And some things that were a lot more familiar to me, because I think I'd given them a couple of tapes, my grandparents, over the years. Probably going back to when I was in high school. So yeah, I'll just go through them real quick and share them. There's got to be, I don't know, 20, 25 tapes in here. I mean, it filled up the whole bag. So yeah, I'll just go through these. Got them all stacked up here on my TV tray, TV dinner tray. Starting off here, we have Sammy Tenuta, Angels with Dirty Faces. I must say, when I took a first glance at this cover, it reminded me of an old Synchronos tape. If you know that label, Chuck Van Zyl, Nightcrawlers, some of the early tapes had this kind of look to them, the kind of monochromatic, kind of hazy look. But that would have really been striking if my grandparents had one of their albums. It's on the Retriever Records. Very cute. Yeah, not sure what this is. Guessing it's kind of like and he had mentioned that, they had a lot of Italian music, like a lot of crooners and a lot of easy listening stuff. Next up, Richard Clayderman, Amor. I'm thinking it's more in the easy listening vein. I believe he's a piano player. It had, looks like he does a lot of soundtrack stuff on here. There's Chariots of Fire, theme from An Officer and a Gentleman, Irreconcilable Differences, that movie too. So sounds like he specializes in perhaps instrumental covers of those pieces, of the soundtrack stuff. So that should be fun. Okay, this is my first official Robert Goulet in the collection. Never thought I'd see the day, but yep. He's officially in the collection. I'm guessing this one's from the maybe early to mid 80s by the cover font there. So try to go a little quicker. Got a lot here. This is one of the tapes I made for them. I recognize my chicken scratch. Made them a Yanni tape. I think specifically for my grandma way back when. Again, I think I was in high school. Dare to Dream. I think I took up both sides of the tape, the 90-minute tape. So, it might have been a longer album, I don't remember. This looks really neat. Music for All Occasions, One Moment in Time. Call Larry or John at, and I recognize, of course, if you're from the area, 312 is a Chicago area code. Kind of a local private press. Yeah, pretty neat. This looks really fun. Andre Castellanets and his orchestra. Golden Hits. I know I've seen his stuff shown before. I think Tinka's shown his stuff, and Manic Mark, and a few people. And he was kind of in easy listening, of course. Man himself, Yanni. Yeah, out of all this, is one of the few I've already been a fan of. Reflections of Passion. Yeah, I think I'd given this to my grandma way back when. Christie Lane Christmas. So, added one of the few, I'm guessing, vocal albums into my Christmas collection. I haven't played any of these yet. You know, I got them yesterday, but I'll probably start playing some tonight. Dean Martin. Had no Dean Martin in the collection. Collector's series. It's like kind of a basic compilation. You all know Dino. Ferrano Fruzetti Guarda. I do not know. I'm guessing maybe another singer. Like all in Italian there. So anyone knows this, let me know. He's not even halfway through the stack yet. Media Books presents Hidden Riches. Nora Roberts. Like a book on tape type thing. Yeah, a few of these didn't have cases. Which I like. Added that collection. This one's blank. It's a Sony. I love those old labels though. So it brings me back. HF60. So we've got a few mystery tapes here. Tony Bennett. Perfectly Frank. Didn't have any Tony Bennett. And he had said, my grandpa had said to me, just, do whatever you want with them, if you want to, listen, keep them, send them off to someone. So, yeah, I definitely look forward to going through these, and, maybe ultimately I don't want, the ones I for sure don't want to keep, maybe I'll come back on and, ask you all, if anyone's interested. But I definitely want to try a lot of these out, try them all out. There's another Marino Fruzetti. I'm really curious. Make it all in Italian. Sorry if I seem a little out of breath. I was doing a lot of work around the house, and I'm finally settling down for the day. It's like I was just kind of going at it. So it's late morning. Fibber, McGee, and Molly. This looks like a lot of fun. Looks to be an old radio show. Yeah, broadcast. One side was broadcast 3/18/52, and the other is 3/25/52. Yeah, a statue of that great pioneer Buckshot McGee has been discovered during a highway building project. Fibber is determined to donate the statue to the city, but Mayor Latrivia doesn't want it. Things get out of hand when Fibber blocks construction of the highway to save the statue. So, yeah, we shall see. I have a little bit of that sort of thing, like the old radio shows. I got like more like Halloween-oriented stuff, but yeah, that'd be fun. Gosh, quite a few more here. Yeah, like I said, it filled up that entire bag with tapes, and I'm putting them back in there as I go. So, the Four Guys, like God Bless the USA, National Anthem. And judging by the tape there, it looks like it's just that one song. I always remember as a kid, it was always fun looking at tapes and trying to guess how long it was by, just however much tape was on there. You could see. Oh, another Moreno Fruzetti. Quite a bit of that. Italian and American, it looks like. So, a combination of maybe sung in both English and Italian lyrics. Perhaps. There we go. O Solo Mio, Pavarotti. Favorite Neapolitan songs. Yeah, I know they were a big fan of Pavarotti, grandparents. Like opera in general, but yeah, definitely fans of his. I think I remember actually seeing this from way back. I don't know what year this is from. 1979. So yeah, I was probably real little. I'm sure I remember probably seeing it around. For years they lived in kind of two places. They had an apartment in the city and a house in the country, which they moved to full time about 20 years ago. But as a little kid, I'd stay with them during parts of the summer, and so I remember even how the house used to be laid out way back when. Here's another blank one, or another mystery tape. I have quite a few of these myself. These Memorex, these colors on them. So get these among others. Another Italian favorites, the Rocky Tricilia Band and Luigi Lenzi. Yeah, lots of Italian music here. Yeah, it's another Memorex. This one's sealed. wasn't even opened. The Color of Money soundtrack. The Paul Newman and Tom Cruise. You can see the price there. Was it 3 for $1? Yeah, 3 for 99 cents. So yeah, it hasn't even been cracked open yet. Let's see here. Another Moreno Frusetti and Friends. You got a lot of. I don't know if I'd even remember them talking about them or not. But, that'd be intriguing. I didn't even see these. These little. Oh, this is neat. It's like a kind of a homemade J card. It's pretty cool. Like a Xerox of the J card. Oh, here he is here. Doesn't come out real well, but okay. What I can make out looks kind of familiar. Oh, very neat. I didn't even notice this before when I was looking through them yesterday. Oh, very cool. Let's see. I think I'm a little past the halfway mark here. Christmas with Johnny. Not sure who Johnny is. Find out soon enough. Blank on that side, at least the label. And here's Perry Como. First time having a Perry Como. Another Sony HF, guessing high fidelity 60. I really like the label on this one. I don't think I'd ever seen this one before. This one just says, play this side on 0. 190 on both sides. I'm not sure what that is. But I'd never seen this label before. Sertron. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it. I'd seen so many, from the time I was a kid, was always into tapes, and once I started buying my own blank tapes to record, off the radio, just all kinds of things. But I'd never seen this label. So interesting. Hidden Riches. Did I already show this one? I might have already shown these. Oh, Sergio Franco. I don't think I showed that one. It's new to me. Sergio Franco on both sides. Let's see, a couple more short stacks here. I don't know who's still watching this. There's a lot of tapes here, and I don't know how many people are interested in cassettes. Of course, this one was very well known when it came out. I think everyone heard about this. Carreras Domingo Pavarotti in concert. Zubin Mehta. I think it was from the late 80s, early 90s. Remember when this is big? Yeah, 1990. So yeah, I don't think I'd listened to this sort of thing in a long time. I always, I always loved classical for the longest time, and opera every so often under the right, mood and conditions. But yeah, I'll see how it is. This one, Italian, one side. Another cool label. MP60. Gemini. That's a label I hadn't heard of. And again, if anyone's heard of this and used them, I'd like to hear about it. Very neat. This one has a BASF Ferro Extra. The songs there. Yeah, very fun. Just so much here. The best of Dean Martin. I'm wondering who made these made these for them. I'm not quite sure. Could have been my folks or other relatives, possibly other relatives too, through the years. Let's see, One Moment in Time, featuring Johnny Maggio as the vocalist. And a lot of these we have our last name written on there. Vocals by Johnny Maggio. Very fun. Oh, this is another one I made for them way back. Keith Jarrett, Solo Trio Standards. One of these, I think this is from The Melody at Night with You, this first one, which is a really beautiful solo piano album he did in the studio. I think about 20 years ago. It was all standards. I think it was the only time he did a solo album of just standards. Usually it was his own improvisations. I'm not quite sure which album this is though. This is one of the trio ones. It's all standards, which I think my grandparents recognized, probably hearing the vocal versions of way back when. Okay, just half a dozen more here. Susan L. Tisson and the Holy Souls. Saint Bede, the Venerable Church, Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, a neat little local private thing there. Shoji Tabuchi, Fiddling Around. It's new to me. I didn't even really look and see this one. Looks to be, it's like a Japanese name, so possibly. So that'll definitely be different. Christmas to Remember, another Christmas album. Oh, Robert Goulet's on this one too. Steve Lawrence, wow, Andy Williams, Mahalia Jackson, Percy Faith and his orchestra, Jerry Vale, jeez, yeah. Oh, Andre Castellanos also. I also remember, staying with them at this house in the country. The old radio they had, it was just like a kind of a small, smallish, old-fashioned radio. But I remember hearing the easy listening, and I guess you could even say kind of like elevator music of the time, way back in the very early 80s, being little and hearing that, and it made an impression. And anytime I would hear that, I'd naturally think of them. But I think I developed something of an affection for it too. Can't make out what this says, but I remember getting these tapes too. I think it was like 3 to a pack or 6 to a pack. I think I got these. Remember getting these at Woolworths. Way back. It was always fun. Yeah, Tone Master, 60-minute. Just a couple more here. Broadway Spectacular. Mary Martin, Carol Channing, and more. Julie Andrews, Ezio Pinza. That should be interesting. Yeah, a lot of stuff that'll, in some form or another will bring me back, I'm sure. And finally here, we have the Mantovani Orchestra, Music Gala of the Year. Yeah, fun stuff. Not sure where this is from. Looks like I have a lot of standards on here. Love is a Many Splendid Thing, Autumn Leaves, The Big Country, 3 Coins in the Fountain, yeah, Italian Rhapsody, Swedish Rhapsody. So yeah, very cool. So yeah, I have a lot of listening ahead of me. I'll start tonight and just yeah, see where it goes. Definitely be a nice time capsule, and it'll bring me back. So again, I'm pretty sure he doesn't watch, but thanks again, Grandpa. These, definitely you put to some good use in one form or another. whatever I don't keep, I'll see who's interested. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll enjoy quite a few of them. So yeah, just wanted to share these. Thought it'd be kind of fun, something different kind of giftage I've received here. And again, I received received a gift in the mail from one of you, and someone else who knows who they are has indicated they want to send me something. So thank you very much, and I'll be back on soon with something or other. In the background, I don't know how well you can hear it. I had moved the stereo since the last time, so I think in the last video the music was a little low. This is oh gosh, who is it now? Can't think of the name. Oh, Yes Kim. It's an artist that goes under the name Yes Kim, and this is actually an MP3 CD made by a dear friend. Kind of a compilation of his albums. Did like a lot of kind of meditation type stuff, and yeah, it's pretty enjoyable. So yeah, wanted to share these, and I hope we're all well, and until the next one. Peace, love, and joy.